I'm a little bit unsure if I'll have time to do them all tomorrow, so maybe I should just start on it now. Yeah, so... Yeah, you know what? Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Sorry, but I'll just have to... So, Turnabout beginnings. I'm just going to edit the stream info. And there we go. Turnabout beginnings. This case. So this case in and of itself isn't like all that much, but we're now going to see Edgeworth's first case. And yes, Edgeworth is going to have a bad time. The girl. Let her go! Shut up! Come closer and I'll kill her! Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance to. I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before Mia and I ever met. Yeah, this is a prequel chapter, basically. The prequel chapter to everything. The first case, like chronologically in the series. I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. I should never have accepted this case. Ah! Good morning? Don't be so jumpy, Mia. I didn't do nothing, I swear. I didn't kill nobody. Terry Falls, my first client, sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now a prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why did you escape anyway? I'm sorry! I didn't do nothing, I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere. But Mr. Fawless, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. Oh, sorry. I told a little lie. Just look at that face! Yeah, basically, so it's more like... yes, yeah, correct fix. Just like that. Oh boy. But anyway, I didn't do it. I haven't killed nobody. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? I'm really sorry. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it, I didn't kill her. I could never do that. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then, about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After he escaped, did you meet a policewoman? Yeah, I did. She is the reason I escaped. So that much is true. He did meet with the victim. What is it, Biggs? But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive, it's true. I can trust him, right? Yes, he did. That he did. Armando did tell. You are correct there, Pix. And guess what this is? Huh. You're not going to figure out the truth just by staring at this guy. Why are you here? I came to see how a little kitten was doing when all alone in the big, scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Where is Mr. Grossberg? That person looks awfully familiar. Yeah, I know. But like his hair is all black, you know, and he's not wearing a blue suit, so it can't possibly be him. That old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armano. I didn't say. So, Diego Armano, the finest attorney at Grossberg's law offices, is here for me? No. You got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take on this case. Imagine an escaped death row convict for your first client. Yeah, thanks. I wish I could get it out though. Relax. I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned a reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go time. A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes, I heard that simple, childlike voice. I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. Can we talk about how Felix is in the hospital bed? Can we not, Fix? Because I want to keep the other suspense. Court is now in session for a trial of Terry Paulus. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers. Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. So, you're the new prosecutor everyone is talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite a young age. At 20, Your Honor. I guess a little kitten hasn't earned herself quite a reputation just yet, huh? Come on, Mia, you can't lose, not to someone younger than you. Young people running at the trial. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently on a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Paulus was responsible for her death. You got it, kitten. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement. Yes, Your Honor. It was about 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Paulus, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. A truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness testimony. A witness testimony? No, Francesca's not a prosecutor quite yet. Francisca is the same age as Maya. So Francisca will be about 12 in this right now. Okay. Yeah, I think she's 12 right now. She's the same age as Maya. The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal, she arrested Mr. Fawless at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Fawless throw his young victim into the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. So Miss Hawthorne's testimony was the one to put him away. That policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be exactly the victim. The same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Wait, what? Oh, autocorrect is amazing. Now, I see. The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago, with only one thing on his mind: take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Zavari!
Weren't you supposed to quit?
No. Huh? Yes, yes. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty. This is not the judge. This is not our judge, the one we've been looking at thus far. This is his brother. 10 Floof needs a headband. Wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Watch yourself, Miss Fey. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or the tone of your voice. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. I called the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. Gumshoe hasn't changed all that much. Witness, your name and occupation. Gumshoe, Dick Shaw Gumshoe. I'm a homicide detective in charge of this case, sir. I finally got promoted to detective division half a year ago. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Hey, ma'am, you got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You're really gorgeous. Excuse me? No, seriously, my heart. It's aching for you. Detective. Pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Oh. Look at his coat, it's so clean, you know? This is what his coat is supposed to look like when he actually has, like, you know, has it clean and fresh instead of that, you know, old thing. I think Edgeworth was 15 in the DL6 one. Yeah, it is the same code, it's just clean now because it's new. Got it. Now, detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir. Right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran of the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir. I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. The river that runs under here is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met here on top of the bridge. After stabbing in her back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured by the police at the checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. I see. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, you have no proof that they even met there. Your Honor, if you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me as though I was some hoser. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now, listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake, and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. Yeah, it's just like, it's like a chibi Edgeworth. And also, for those who are can recall to the SL9 incident of the first game, I think that's the only time we've been to Edgeworth's office. The suit he's wearing is the one that's hanging in his room, in his office. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant to ask to meet. The Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Fawless. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body in his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Fawless was arrested at the police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Naturally. Now, would the defense please hurry up and proceed with a cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor. A cross-examination coming right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, all right. Especially for a beginner. I don't need you to worry about me. I mean, the defendant, the witness, everyone's the beginning here. Wait, what? Off to YouTube to scare out the Turnabout goodbyes video you're looking for? Coffee. Maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you got, kitten. Ah. That is true. Okay, it's okay, Mia. Stay calm. Just remember those court procedure videos you sit up all night watching. This unknown person, you have no idea it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was a defendant, Terry Fawless. The what? The defendant? The defendant called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Fawless. A note? Yeah. A top secret memo that she left in her desk. According to this note, it seems that the one who called over to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Fawless. I want to take mine. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me? Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. It's that detective's fault. He's the one who said unknown person. Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to. Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. Huh. So what does this memo say? Dahlia, okay. The truth must come out. Everyone knows it, yes. White scarf as identification, talk to Dahlia. Mr. Falls had a car then? Well, that bridge is way up the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Welcome back, Red. Car thieves. Not sure how I feel about car thieves. Is this guy really sure about how... Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. Oh, whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable. The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct? Yeah. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. Oh, so 7 years. Okay, that's I underestimated the time. We're talking about the woman here. You can't tell from this photo, but the knife is stuck in her back nice and firm. So here we have a contradiction, though. The condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy about the trunk in the car? I do see something strange, because she's supposed to be wearing a white scarf. Witness! What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Fey? I'm sorry, I totally forgot what I was going to say. This is the first time I actually had to address someone like that. You should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Miss Fey, I'm not sure I like this. Say there, kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy? Candy? Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee. Ah, come on, Mia, shake it off. You're a lawyer. Detective! Yes, ma'am? This photo. You said there was nothing peculiar about it, is that correct? Yeah, that was what I said. Well then, I suggest you take another note, look at the note written by the victim. The note? It very clearly says, wear white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like, thus, this special request. I have one very simple question for you, detective. Where is the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am. And you stopped there? You should have looked for it. The caller told her to wear it to identify herself. I'd expect her she did just that. Okay, let's see. Edgeworth is 20 here. Yeah, so Francisca might be a prosecutor here. Hey, there's a fine line between insanity and genius, you know. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you have what you have to say about this? I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you are searching so desperately for is right here. Is it this one, perchance? Where did you find that, sir? On Dusky Bridge. I was there first, and I decided to conduct my own investigation. Why did you tell me? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know. That hotshot sure has flair for the dramatic. It's not exactly white as the caller requested, but as you can see, it is close enough for what it was intended for. It looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising, it was drizzling on the mountain that day. Prosecutor Edgeworth, he was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. Yes, my bastard. The court will accept the scarf into evidence. Now, if the attorney for the defense is finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. If that is all right with you, isn't it, Miss Fey? Boy, would I like to wrap his scarf around his smarmy little neck. Very good. Now, if we are done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively and with hard evidence that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Fawless did indeed meet on the bridge that day. Oh, that's such a long sentence. Remember to breathe. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. Everything is moving at his whim. Don't forget, kitten, the real reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. Wait, what? Use that C? Crime photo? A genius, huh? Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. The thingamajig? I had no idea what it's called. This photo was actually taken. It shows the victim. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day, unfortunately, so it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. That is just so dumb. It's like, shoved her from behind. Looking at the photo, you really get the sense that this bridge is very high up. There's about a 40-foot drop from the bridge down to the Eagle River down below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Cravat, that's not a word you hear a lot of. Let's just say it was a well-intentioned third party. Aha, a potential witness. So, why is this person in the courtroom? Well, they said he absolutely did not want to testify. The person's question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel him to testify. I'm not sure how I feel about that. So, as you can see, Terry Fawless had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on the bridge. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. Not again, this is not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. What do you mean, So, this one is all dumb. Gumshoe, he's standing in front here. So we'll just like... Oh. Wait, Wait, what? This is the fourth one. What? Okay, I guess I have to, you know, press here. Yeah, Hawthorne is a very familiar name, isn't it? Is that part of the witness testimony as well? Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard on the back, and then she fell down right on her stomach. I remember that happening once myself. It was really brutal. Are you talking about seeing someone getting pushed, or when they were being pushed? Or is that how you... What do you mean when you push someone like that one down? With his mind-boggling tales and the way he says brutal, I wonder if he's Canadian. Ha! Save your nasty looks for that right person. Huh? Take a look.